Hey guys, Richard here from Troll Line Fishing, and today I'm just doing a quick video to say happy 2023. Hopefully the last couple months have been really good for you. Fishing wise, it's been not really great. I know there's a lot of guys who are getting out on the ice, like good for you. I just find the ice has been so up and down recently where I fish that I haven't even tempted fate. Steve himself has only gone, I'm pretty sure, 3 times, which is like an all-time low season that he's had in probably 10 or more years. So just off what Steve hasn't been able to do, I've kind of took it upon myself to say it's not the time of year for me, and it's not really great. Like where we usually fish right now is completely open. Boats are able to get in and get out. So that's why I think in the next coming months, I think, hopefully it warms up again in March. So me and Steve are planning to get a boat pass for Lake Ontario this year, or a ramp pass, sorry, so we can get out there, get the browns, go out there, go for, like, there's so many species in the Pickering area. That's where we are in Ontario. There is so many sheepheads, white bass, I believe there's some striped bass caught there, pike, walleye, and a bunch of other different species. There's been lake trout caught in that, like in our area as well. So there's lots of different species that we can try for, and I would love to do that one day where we just go out there and do a multi-species day where we just sit there and catch 10 different species in a day. Me and Steve have talked about doing it, so this year I think we are going to do it. We wanted to get a pass because his boat's always here in Pickering. So if you have a ramp pass, there's no time. Like how they do it here is they're open 9 to 5. If you buy a season's ramp pass, they give you a key, so you're not held to 9 to 5. You're now able to park it when you want, go when you want, leave when you want. Like you're all time. Because let's be honest, a true fisherman sometimes might not go out till 5 o'clock. Some fishermen get out at 6 a.m. If you're limited to 9 to 5, it's not very great. Like, it's not very good. You're missing the peak hours, in my opinion, especially with summer. You could get, excuse me, you could get an extra 3 to 4 hours of fishing at night, especially because of the longer days. So me and Steve have discussed that. I think we're going to buy a pass for our area and hopefully get to go out to Lake Ontario a few times this season. And then you never know. We'll see. We might get some dipsy divers and try salmon one time, because I know we've talked about I've never done salmon trolling in Lake Ontario, and I'd like to do it. And even contemplating bringing my boat home sometimes, because his boat would be good if we're just going out quickly for some lake trout or, something along those lines. There's even rainbows in that area too. Like, there's so many different species right out there on our doorstep. Like, I live 10 minutes from the lake, 12 minutes from the lake. Steve lives literally like 3 minutes from the lake. Like, we're both right around the lake, and I don't go out there enough. Steve used to go out all the time with his buddies. They used to go out there. They used to tie off to a post. Now you can't do that anymore because we're close to the nuke plant in this area. So, like, the nuke plant fishing, because, like, to give an example, I went last year with Steve on my boat. We would be 200 yards off the shore. Water temps were reading like 52, let's say. If I went 100 yards off the shore of the nuke plant, water temps were reading like 58. If you went 50 yards off the shore, it was reading like 63. Like, the water discharge is so warm. Oh, and bass. Oh my God. Steve was saying, like, the biggest bass he's ever seen was there. And, a few guys have caught monster bass in that area. So it's an interesting thing. But then again, right, you got to check your seasons, your regulations. So, like, if we were to go out now, most likely it would be for trout. And then, in the summer months, I think we would do a multi-species episode when everything's open, because there is some big ass pike in this area. Like, I know Toro goes out quite a bit, and he gets some pretty big pike. And, if he wants to catch a lot of fish, he'll go out to the Pickering area. Like, it's just a very good area to fish. And that will hopefully take us into the start of our muskie season in June. I'm excited for muskie season again this year. I think this year I'm going to be a very different fisherman. I'm going to be fishing my home lake. If I'm not fishing my home lake, I'm going to try to get out to Georgian Bay a few times this season. I didn't last year. I need to this year. It's only an hour and a half away from my house, so even though I got to bring my boat home a weekend and take off and say, fuck it, we're going there for 2 days. And then also we're going to do St. Clair again this year. And then my wife was interested in doing a trip again, so I might see about going somewhere with my wife different. We did Ottawa, me and her. Would have been, was COVID still a thing? COVID might have still been a thing when it happened. I think it would have been the first year of COVID. Me and her went to Ottawa, and they had just opened up a little bit of travel in Ontario. So we went to Ottawa River, and it was a tough fish. It was November 1st. you know, -2, -3, so it was chilly. Water temps were still decent. The problem is that place is a very hard area to fish. I'd seen John Anderson and I think a few other guides that were fishing. We were near a river mouth and the massive river. So like we were in an area where if I was looking for muskie or fish, that's where I would have been. There was a couple guys walleye fishing near the mouth of the river. There was a few boats trolling around. So there was a few boats out there. So I knew I wasn't not where I should have been. Like I knew I was in a decent area. So hopefully that's something we can do this year. So this year the channel is going to be hopefully getting a few videos out this season. I would love to have done a winter season, but I don't know. I have such good fishing around my area where I can fish for monster pike through the ice, like 40+ inch pike. Sorry, I keep saying muskie. I keep thinking muskie. 40-inch pike, you know, mid-high 30s, which, you know, is nice in Southern Ontario. Like, and I mean Southern Ontario. I'm touching Lake Ontario. So I can catch Lake Ontario pike 12 minutes from home. Not even, I would say, but just say 12 minutes from home. It's kind of hard to say, hey, I'm going to drive up north of the Kawarthas where there's pike and fish for a pike that might be 30 inches, might be 32 inches. Like, that's a small pike where I'm fishing in my area, whereas up north, it's a pretty decent size. Depending on how far north you are, there's an area, like on my lake, if I caught a 34, 35-inch pike, pike, it's a decent fish. It really is. But, you know, I'm not going north. I don't do the Nipissing trips and anything like that. I know Steve, one day we want to do an overnight trip to Bay of Quinte. I think we're going to book for that next year. And go walleye fishing in the bay and kind of just do an overnighter because we've always wanted to. We're contemplating if we book an outfitter or if we take Steve's Big Hut, both heaters, and just go out there ourselves and kind of, you know, try it ourselves and do 2 nights worth where we just bring some food with us and, you know, we sit there, we eat, barbecue, all of that fun stuff because walleye are active all night too, right? So you can fish them a bunch during the day or Lakers during the day, walleyes off at night and kind of have a 2 species day and, you know, fish the next day a bunch, and then come home and do a nice 2-day trip, like an overnight trip. So 2 days, 1 night. And I think that's something we're going to look to do next year, like I said. And then, so the channel is hopefully over the next year to 18 months, we're going to get a lot of videos out. I'll always do a little bit of tip and trip videos that I did last year. And kind of trying to get more fishing content on the channel. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who watches still and keeps us relevant. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video today. We'll see you a lot in 2023. See ya.